I I watched a lot of the Z stuff for a while. And then I got into a really old anime called Ronin Warriors. And that's with like Ryu and Kento, Sage, and all these guys. I haven't seen too much of the newer stuff. My son's trying to get me to get into Titanfall, or it picks up, man, it gets really good, and I'm like, word. I grew up on like Fist of the North Star, Ghost in the Machine. Like that's the old animes I used to watch. It's been a while. Like what was? Let me see. What's their most recent one I watched? I forgot the name of it. It's like a little dude, white hair. He's got like cat ears, and he wears like this long robe. And the sword, his sword has some sort of like it's like demon something. I can't remember. My son's really the one who gets me all into the anime shit. I haven't seen a lot of anime in a while though. Good old Red Dead. Oh, there you are. I was like, who the fuck is over here? How do we do?
Hello?
Yo yo.
What's up, man? My shit's got still, what is that? 108 minutes. Almost 2 hours.
Red Dead.
Yeah.
I mean, we don't have to.
Is, what's his name, AFK?
Boosted, he
Bob?
said he'll be back in
Oh, no, you're here.
15. Oh, Mickey? No, Mickey's here.
Mickey, that's right. Here, I'll hit the daily wheel spin on GTA real quick. Then we can play Insurgency, it doesn't matter to me.
Yeah, that works for me. Zach messaged me. Okay, yes, sir. I see you. Stay with this, bro. This is a creative expression is the most undervalued and underrated thing, bro. That shit saved my life. That's why I got a household. I grew up in a building. I grew up in a building in a unit in a military school where we did PT and shit like that.
Oh,
Um,
shit.
and that's where I learned most of my discipline. I am still friends, and I was 8. I'm 44 now. I was 8 years old when that happened, and I was in there for 5 years. I was about 12. 12, I went to a group home, and at 15, coincidentally and kind of by accident, um, I ran from the group home because I got caught on something really minor and just blew it out of proportion and ran. And then I just, since I was 15, bro, I took care of myself. I didn't have no siblings, no uncles, no aunts, no mom, no dad, no none of that shit. So if there's anything I can understand is the feeling of being alone, or your place in life, what your purpose is, what why you're here, and that kind of those questions that come up periodically. What I can tell you is the you may believe, you may not believe, but for me, what I tell people is, um, God really indeed does give some of the hardest tasks to some of his strongest soldiers. You know what I mean? And so take it as a lesson. You being a piece of metal and him being that blacksmith, bro. He keeps putting you into the fire and then pulls you out for a little while, bangs on you a little bit, works out the impurities, and then looks at it and then puts you back in the fire again, bro. And the moment that's one thing that's always going to be evident and prevalent in your life is you're always going to have that struggle. You're always going to have that feeling until the moment you are put into the earth and return from where you came. While you're here, you have to mind your focus, and you need to. I suggest, you don't need to do anything, but I suggest that you mind your focus, and I suggest that you do new things. Life can get pretty mundane and boring through routine, as I told you earlier. And comfort zones are the killer of dreams, bro. Don't sit in a comfort zone too long. You get fat. You know what I mean? You don't have the same situational awareness or sharpness that you need in your life in order for you to feel some sort of value in whatever you're doing on a day-to-day basis, bro. Find yourself a good, um and not hastefully, not in time. Take your time. But if you find a good woman, bro, stick by that woman. There's a reason why God made them second, and it's because they were an improvement to what He made with us first. We're just brutes. We're 90% physicality and 10% this empty thing inside of us. And women are 90% of that natural connection to everything else, and then that 10% of physicality is what they get in us. That's why there's this thing between telling people, I don't feel right when you're by my side and all this other stuff. Behind every good man is an even greater woman, bro. That doesn't mean that you have to have a woman in your life in order for you to be that. You can find that on your own, but a good woman will definitely um, exercise a system of checks and balances in your life so that you don't stray too far away from your path or whatever you want to call it, and you keep yourself grounded, bro. But do things, Mickey, man. Do all the shit that you've been thinking. That's how the skydiving thing came about, bro. For years, I would tell myself, um, one of these days, one of these days, one of these days. And I had like money in my bank account and shit like that. I was chilling on a Friday night or whatever, and I was watching a gentleman by the name of Jeb Corliss. He does wingsuit flying,
Oh, I know him.
and
Hell
so
yeah.
I love wingsuit flying. Like that's the reason I went skydiving, was to start the process of getting certified, because you have to have so many jumps before you're even allowed to even
Go by yourself.
yeah,
Yeah.
before, or even if you're certified and you can go by yourself, you have to have so many of solo jumps before you're even allowed to put on a wingsuit, um
Yep.
because it's a whole nother, a whole nother animal altogether. So I was sitting there, bro, and I was like, one of these days, and then I thought about it. I'm like, bro, I got money in my account, my bills are paid, everything's good. I'm gonna fucking research it and go fucking set it up. And so I did, and I was supposed to go on a Sunday, but we had inclement weather. Florida, obviously, around 3 o'clock in the summertime, a lot of the clouds roll through because it's the hottest part of the day. It's very humid down here, and so we get a lot of thunderstorms down here because of that. And so they canceled it. I was about ready to get a refund and like say, fuck it, I'm not doing it. And something told me, don't do it, just reschedule it. So I did. I rescheduled it for the next day. I came back and I fucking went and did it, and completely changed my life, dude. And one thing I'm not is fearful. I'm not a fuck up. I'm not worthless. I'm not in any by any means a waste. And so when you finally realize that, and you legitimately put one foot in front of you, man, that's how it starts, bro. In order for you to get to the other side of the country, bro, it's got to be one step at a time. And so, sometimes it's slow, sometimes it's fast, but don't give up, bro. Don't ever feel. I mean, you're gonna go through your emotions. You're gonna go through the sways and your moods and all that other stuff. That's normal. But don't ever let it get you to such a dark place that it's starting to cause depression. If you're depressed a lot, bro, it's because you're too busy thinking about yesterday. Okay, and you need to remember a very important fact about that entire ordeal in terms of thinking about that shit. Uh, when you're too busy dealing with yesterday, bro, you're raising up a lot of depression in your life and a lot of resentment towards yesterday. When you're thinking about tomorrow, what you're going to cause yourself is a lot of anxiety, and so you're too busy worrying about all of the plausible outcomes, all of the what ifs, and if you sat here and numbered off your what ifs, you'd be sitting here until the day you're no longer here anymore, bro. Because you can come up with a million of those. So the only thing those two things affect, thinking about your past or thinking about your future, it doesn't change yesterday at all. It's not going to change what happened. It's not going to change how it happened. Um, and the same thing goes for tomorrow and anxiety and what you feel there. It's not going to change what you don't even know is going to happen. You don't know what's around the corner or the bend. You don't know what's down the road. You're not going to find out until you get to it. So don't worry about it till you get to it. You get what I'm saying? The only thing, the only thing that those two things are going to affect are your right fucking now. You think too much about yesterday, bro, and it's going to affect you right now. You're going to be depressed right now. You think too much about tomorrow and what is supposed to be or what you hope to be or what you hope it's not going to be. It's only going to affect you right now. It's going to affect your peace. It's going to affect your state of mind and your ability to focus, be cognizant of what you're doing, and all of the things that you do on a day-to-day basis, bro. So remember, today is cheesy as you've heard people. Today's a present. That's today's a gift. That's why they call it a present. I'm not gonna tell you that. But today, right now, is the most important time in your life, bro, because you're in the moment right here, right now. And so you can choose or choose not to let it affect you or not let it affect you. But you ultimately are,
You're in control.
you're in control, my bro.
Yeah.
And God's at the wheel of that, I'm gonna read you something that's very near and dear to me. That meant a lot to me when I fucking read it. It is out of the night that covers me, black as the pit from pole to pole. I thank whatever gods may be for my unconquerable soul. In the fell clutch of circumstance, I have not winced nor cried aloud. Under the bludgeonings of chance, my head is bloodied but unbowed. Beyond this place of wrath and tears looms but the horror of the shade, and yet the menace of the years finds and shall find me unafraid. It matters now how strait the gate, how charged with punishment the scroll. I am the master of my fate. I am the captain of my soul. And that shit stuck with me. That's my favorite poem. It's called Invictus, bro. And you're young, my bro. Very young. And I promise you, as you get older, things start to become more and more interesting. At a point when I was your age, I remember having these thoughts to myself about me getting older, how I dreaded getting older, and all of the things that come with getting older. And as I was getting older and older, and I started learning more things, and hopefully what I would like to assume is amassing wisdom in my life, things have become more and more interesting, more I found more passion in things. I found more compassion for things. I grew in patience and temperance, which is self-control. I had really bad anger issues when I was younger because of the things I had gone through as a kid, and this idea that I thought the world fucking owed me something. And so once I got away from that, and therapy and things like that, and being around people that supported me and encouraged me and did all of these things, it changed my mindset and how I looked and viewed everything. A lot of people can't look at something and just say, it's not a big deal. It sucks, but it is what it is. And so that's me. Everything for me is, it is what it is. If it works for me, cool. If it doesn't, hopefully it doesn't cause me any pain physically or emotionally, psychologically, and that kind of thing. But bro, you got so much ahead of you, bro. 22 years old, and I don't mean this.
You're only a year older than me.
I don't mean this disrespectfully, bro. But you guys are babies, man. You guys haven't seen shit yet. You haven't seen shit. And when you do, when you go on some of these things that you haven't done before for the first time, skydiving, for example, or fucking a cruise or scuba diving or whatever it is, when you do these things for the first time and you realize the value and the beauty behind what you're experiencing, bro, it just feeds this fire for you to want to try other things and learn new things and do new things. I'm
Yep.
fucking terrified of the ocean and all that other shit. But one of these days, I'm gonna take my ass into a cage and I'm gonna go and face my fear. And my biggest fear is, and this isn't a pool. I could be in a fucking pool and I'll still freak the fuck out because in my brain,
Oh shit.
it's a placebo effect for me. Like
Yeah.
I'm there. You know what I mean? So, great white shark. It is my biggest fear in terms of being in the water. And anytime I'm in the water, I'm in my brain. I can't see the water. I can't see what's beneath me. There's something around me that's getting ready to fucking just, you know, extinguish my light or whatever you want to call it. But one of these days, bro, I'm gonna handle that. And that's for me, baby steps. One thing at a time, dog. If you're gonna find yourself in a position where like you're legitimately trying to, it doesn't work that way. You know what I mean? You got to launch out into the deep. Even Jesus said that when he was talking to the disciples when they couldn't find any fish. He told them, launch out into the deep, cast it to the other side. You know what I mean? Sometimes it's as simple as just a change in habit or a change in routine or something like that, and things become different for you. Don't lose faith though, bro. A lot of young people are like that today. They're just depressed or they're fucking
Yeah, lose it quick.
they lose it very fast. And it's like, listen, man, you gotta hold on. This is temporary.
It's life.
Weeping may last throughout the night, but joy comes in the morning. I promise you that, bro. I promise you that. A lot more people would do well to remember that. Not everything demands a response. You don't need to respond to everything. You know what I mean? You just need to. I'm really good at shutting shit off, and I learned that from the things that I've been through in my life. I've been through a lot of fucked up shit. A lot of fucked up shit. I've seen things that, as a kid, kids shouldn't see. Like I've seen death. I've seen fucked up shit. You know what I mean? And so being able to have experienced that and seen all of that, and then weigh that in my life and see the value of what I actually do have. You're not going to know that until you don't have it no more, bro. When you get locked up and you're doing 6 months in jail and you're doing a year in jail, then you realize how much your freedom is that much important. Something as simple as just being able to go to a drive-thru and get a fucking hamburger, bro.
Yeah.
You know? So don't lose faith, Mickey. Everything needs to be 0 to 100 real quick. Sometimes you need to take your time, bro. Molasses, honey tastes real good, don't it? But that bitch pours out really fucking slow when you pour it out. You know what I mean? So that's kind of like life, man. Some things come like milk, other things come like honey. Anyway, go ahead and finish what you were gonna say. Neither do I. I'm not religious at all. I'm a spiritual person. I'm a spiritual person. Religion is what Jesus came back to change, bro. That's Jesus wasn't religious, and that's the great. And I tell people this all the time. The greatest trick the devil ever pulled off was convincing the world that he does not exist.
I mean, yeah, if there's evil, there's definitely if there's good, there's evil. If there's evil, there's good. It goes both ways. It's like
Absolutely.
equal opposite forces. Yep.
For every
So
reaction, there is an equal and opposite reaction.